Okay, so now we're going to look at the G major scale on the C harmonica. Now you may say, how come you're going from the C major scale to the G major scale? What about the C sharp major scale, the D major scale, the D sharp major scale, all those scales in between C and G? Well, what we're doing is we're using the circle of fifths. Remember, in the key of C major, what is the fifth note? C, D, E, F, G. G. So the reason why is because of the rule of the circle of fifths. Every time you go up a fifth, you add a sharp. That means that in the key of C there are 0 sharps, and in the key of G there's 1 sharp. Well, considering we're on a C harmonica, 1 sharp is not that much different than 0 sharps. And so the odds are it's going to be a fairly easy key to figure out. And it's called second position or cross harp. So, what are the names of the notes in the G major scale? Well, at this point, a lot of my students would say, I don't remember, because they haven't been practicing their scales on the chromatic on a daily basis. But, then I'll say, well, what are 2 ways to remember a major scale if you can't remember one? And hopefully the answer is 1, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. And the second answer would be the circle of fifths. So let's look at the 1, whole, half, whole, half. If G is the first note, what's a whole step up from G? G sharp A. 2 notes higher, A, whole step up from A sharp B, half step up from B, B to C because there's no black note in between B and C, whole step from C, C sharp D, whole step from D, D sharp E, whole step up from E. Now there's no black note between E and F, so E goes up to F and then to F sharp, and then half step up to G. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G is the scale we're looking for. Let's use the circle of fifths to figure it out. Every time you go up a fifth, you add a sharp. And the new sharp is alphabetically just before the keynote, which is in the 7th place. Well, if the keynote is G, what comes alphabetically before G? F. So the new sharp is going to be F sharp. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. To me, that's a much easier method when you're dealing with scales that are close to the C scale. When you get further away from the C scale on the circle of fifths, it gets a little more difficult. So, we got this scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and we're trying to find it on the C harmonica, so that is our mission. Okay? So, what is the lowest G on the C harmonica? Well, either 2 draw or 3 blow, and I think you've heard me explain that I want to use 2 draw most of the time because tonally it gives us more possibilities. But always remember 3 blow is the same note and can be played. But before we write down 2 draw, there are some notes that are lower than 2 draw on the C harmonica. I want to include them when we write down the scale. Why? Well, what is the purpose of writing down the notes in the scale? Well, the notes in the scale sound good. So when somebody says, let's play in the key of G major, and they start playing rhythm, if you choose notes from the pool of G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, they're going to sound good. Well, let's consider, what is the lowest note on the C harmonica? Well, 1 blow is C. That's as low as it goes. Is there a C note in the G major scale? Yes, there is. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So we have to include that C when we write it down. So I'm going to start with 1 blow, C. Now when I play this scale, I'm not going to start on C. If I did, it wouldn't sound like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I'm going to start on my lowest tonic, my lowest G note, the do note. But I'm going to show you a way to play the scale that will include that C that's lower in pitch than the lowest tonic. So after C comes, in the scale comes D. Where's D? 1 draw. Where's E? 2 blow. Where's F sharp? Well, the blow notes are C, E, G, so there's no F sharp there. The draw notes are D, G, B, D, F, A, B, D, F, A, no F sharp there. As a matter of fact, a great thing to remember on the C harmonica is that there's no black keys until you start bending. So, F sharp is a note that's not built into the harmonica. There are two ways to produce notes that are not built into the harmonica: bending and overblowing. Now, for most of us, we're not that good at overblowing yet. So, we're hoping, we're praying that that F sharp is a bent note, because if it is, we can play it. So, how do you make a bent note? You start on a natural note and you change the shape of your mouth and the note goes lower in pitch. So if F sharp is the note we're looking for, there was a note, if it is a bend note, there was a note that's higher than F sharp that we bent down from to get to F sharp. So what's one note higher than F sharp? G. Where is G? 2 draw is G. Is it possible to bend to draw? Yes, it is, because it's on a draw note from holes 1 through 6. Well, how many bends are there on hole number 2? 2 has 2 bends. It's a coincidence, but we like it. Which bend is it? F sharp. Is it the single bend, 1 note lower than G, or the double bend, 2 notes lower than G? Well, on the keyboard, F sharp is 1 note lower than G. Therefore, the F sharp is 2 draw single bend. And then 2 draw is G. And then we're looking for A. Where is A? Well, the blow notes are C, E, G. The draw notes are D, G, B, D, F, A. Hey, there's an A. D, G, B, D, F, A. 6 draw. So we're going to go from 2 draw to 6 draw. That's pretty far away. That's not going to really sound like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. It's going to sound like do, re. Much higher. We want do, re in the same octave, the same range. So, A is another missing note. Could be a bent note, could be an overblow. We're hoping it's a bent note. Okay, so if it's a bent note, it started on a higher pitch that's built into the harmonica, and we got to bend down to it. What's higher than A? Well, there's a black key between A and B, so A sharp. But there's no black keys built into the C harmonica. What's higher than A sharp? B. Is there a B close to 2 draw? Doggone big. D, G, B. B is in 3 draw. How many notes, how many bends are there on hole number 3 draw? 3. It's a nice coincidence. So is A the single bend, the double bend, or the triple bend? In other words, is it 1 note lower than B, 2 notes lower than B, or 3 notes lower than B? Well, on the keyboard, since there is a black key between A and B, B goes down 1 note to B flat, the single bend, otherwise known as A sharp. 1 more note to A. There's our A. 3 double bend. 3 draw is B, 4 blow is C, 4 draw is E, 5 blow is E, and then we got to get to F sharp. Where is F sharp? There's no black key built into the harmonica, so we know it's either a bent note or an overblow. Well, we're hoping it's a bent note, because if it is, then most of us can play it. If it is a bent note, it's got to start on a note higher than the F sharp that's built into the harmonica and bend down to it. What's 1 note higher than F sharp? G. Where is G in that range on the harmonica? 6 blow, because C, E, G, C, E, G. C, E, G, C, E, G, 6 blow. Is it possible to bend 6 blow? No, it is not. Because on holes 1 through 6, you bend on the draw notes, not the blow notes. Therefore, F sharp is not a bend. We can't bend 5 draw, F, doggone big Dallas Fort Worth, higher, because bent notes don't go higher. So if 5 draw is F, and we make it lower, it's not going to get to F sharp. F sharp is higher than 5 draw. So since you can't bend 5 draw higher, and you can't bend 6 blow lower, it is an overblow. Where is it? Well, overblows always create a note that is 1 note higher than the highest note on the hole. So F sharp has got to be 1 note higher than the highest note on the hole. What is F sharp 1 note higher than? F. Where is F? 5 draw. Therefore, F sharp is in 5 overblow. And when you do it, you don't do it on the draw note, you do it on the blow note. So you always, you overblow in the breath direction of the lower of the 2 pitches between the blow and the draw note. So what's lower, E or F? 5 blow or 5 draw? E, 5 blow. And it becomes 1 note higher than the highest note on the hole. Which is higher, E or F? F. What is 1 note higher than E? F sharp. 5 overblow is our F sharp. But for some of us, we're not so good at F sharp, at doing overblows. So we're going to talk about what to do next time. See ya.